I'm the 5 times world mind mapping champion and joined today by the 8 times memory champion. That's Dominic O'Brien. Dominic, they estimate that the leading cause of death in the UK now is dementia. Do you have any tips against preventing dementia?
Yeah, it's costing a lot of money, something like 26 billion a year in the UK alone. I think throughout Europe it's close to 400 billion. There's, well, obviously it's a case of use it or lose it. I do little games. I check with my wife occasionally what my memory's like. So we try to think of an episode. We've been together since, 1989. There are lots of adventures, episodes, incidents, conversations. And I say, do you remember that time we went down to the coast and we met an interesting woman in a restaurant? And she said, yes, I remember. And then she'll carry on the story. So we sort of fire these back at each other. And so far, we haven't caught each other out. So that's a good way of checking, I think. There's an interesting study in Minnesota ongoing since the 1980s, where Dr. David Snowden, he's a professor of neurology, befriended this group of nuns in Minnesota. And they volunteered their brains for science. So he was particularly interested in age-related cognitive conditions. And he then checked their brains when they died. He was able to dissect them. And he was surprised to see that a lot of them who were still active in their 90s, some of them 101, 102, appeared to be perfectly lucid, intellectually sound, shall we say. But when he checked their brains, they had all the typical signs of dementia and some of them Alzheimer's. And he was a bit confused by this. So how did they appear to be normal? And what they were doing was they were still attending debates, they were teaching, they were playing games, Scrabble games, word games, that sort of thing, even memory games. But the one thing he noted was they were able to predict with a high degree of accuracy by checking their essays when they first entered the convent at an average age of 22. The ones that had that was called linguistic density, when they were able to describe events very well linguistically, they had less chance of getting dementia or Alzheimer's. So the ones that got off to a good start, that were taught to read early, so literacy is very important, the ones that are taught to be literate early were able to keep the lid on dementia and Alzheimer's. So it really is a case of use it or lose it, stimulating the brain at an early age. And it's never too late to start as well.
Thanks very much, Dominic. It's heartening to know that the more we use it, the more we can use it, and the longer we can do so. Thanks very much.